Hey there, you. Ever feel like your love life could use a few more frequent flyer miles? Like maybe your heart's got a passport and it's itching for a snap. You're not alone. Turns out long-distance relationships are more common than you might think.
That's right. And with the way the world is these days, work, school, even family can scatter people across the map, but just because you're not in the same zip code doesn't mean a relationship is doomed.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today, not just how to survive being long distance, but how some couples actually thrive with all those miles between them. We've got research, real-life stories, it works.
And what's fascinating is that some research suggests long distance can even have hidden strengths. For example, it can force couples to become incredible communicators, maybe even better than those who see each other face to face all the time.
Okay, so tell me more about that. Because honestly, when I think of long distance, my brain goes straight to those late night calls with terrible Wi-Fi and that awkward lag where you're both talking at once.
Right, we've all been there. But think about it. When you can't rely on those little glances, those unspoken cues we pick up on in person, you have to get good at saying what you mean and meaning what you say.
So it's like instead of just assuming your partner knows what you're thinking or feeling long distance, forces you to actually talk about it.
Exactly. You learn to articulate your needs and expectations more clearly. Plus, since you're not seeing each other every day, those calls and texts become even more precious. You're more likely to really listen and be present in those moments.
That makes sense. It's like you can't take those conversations for granted because you don't know when the next one will be. It's like that saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder. But does that really hold up in the real world?
It can, but it's not always easy. We've got to be honest about the challenges too, the loneliness, the doubts, and even just missing those everyday moments together.
Right, like who's going to binge watch that show with me or try out that new restaurant downtown? Sometimes a virtual date night can only do so much.
Absolutely. And that's where those communication skills become even more crucial. Because when you're miles apart, a little misunderstanding can snowball fast. So you have to learn how to nip those problems in the bud and address conflict in a healthy way.
It's like the stakes are higher when you're long distance. A tiny argument can feel like a huge deal because you're not there to talk it out in person. So how do successful couples handle those tricky situations?
They get really good at relationship triage. They recognize that a missed call isn't necessarily a sign of neglect, and a grumpy text might just mean their partner had a bad day at work. It's about giving each other the benefit of the doubt and not letting those little anxieties spiral out of control.
That's so important because when you're already feeling insecure about the distance,
Yeah.
it's easy to jump to conclusions. It's like your brain fills in the blanks with worst-case scenarios.
Exactly. And that's why clear communication is key. Instead of stewing in your worries, you have to learn to voice them constructively. Say, hey, I haven't heard from you much today and I'm feeling a bit anxious. Is everything okay?
So it's about being direct, but also vulnerable, letting your partner know how you're feeling without placing blame.
Right. And the beauty of long distance is that it can push you to have those difficult conversations you might otherwise avoid. You don't have the luxury of just storming off or giving each other the silent treatment.
That's true. You're forced to confront those issues head-on, which can actually make your communication stronger in the long run. But what about the other side of the coin? What about those everyday moments of joy, those little things you miss out on when you're apart?
That's where creativity comes in. You have to find ways to bridge the distance and create shared experiences, even if they're happening virtually.
Okay, so we're talking beyond the standard video call.
Mm.
Give me the good stuff. What are some fun and creative ways couples make this work?
Think virtual movie nights where you choose a film to watch simultaneously and then chat about it afterward, just like you're cuddled up on the couch together. Or online games you can play as a team working towards a common goal.
Oh, I love that. It's like building your own little virtual world together.
Exactly. And for those everyday moments, even small gestures can make a big difference. Imagine waking up to a picture of your partner's coffee cup with a note that says, thinking of you, or sharing a playlist of songs that remind you of each other.
It's like sending little love letters throughout the day. I bet those thoughtful gestures mean even more when you're miles apart.
They really do. It's about finding ways to weave each other into your daily lives, even if it's just through a screen. Because the truth is, it's not about eliminating the distance entirely, but about making sure you're still a part of each other's worlds.
That makes a lot of sense. But let's be real. Even with all the creativity and communication in the world, long distance can still be tough. Are there any surprising upsides, any silver linings that come with all those miles?
Absolutely. Remember how we talked about long distance forcing you to become a better communicator? Well, that's just one of the unexpected benefits.
Okay, so spill the tea. What are these unexpected perks of long-distance relationships? I'm ready to be surprised.
Well, for starters, think about all that time you have to focus on your own goals and passions when you're not spending every free moment with your partner.
Okay, that's a good point. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of a relationship and put your own aspirations on hold.
Exactly. But when you're long distance, you have this built-in opportunity to really prioritize your own personal and professional growth. It's like a crash course in independence.
So you're not just becoming a better communicator, you're becoming a more well-rounded individual. Sign me up. But doesn't it get lonely pursuing those dreams solo?
It can, but that's where the beauty of having a supportive partner comes in. Think about it. You have someone who's cheering you on from afar, someone who understands the challenges you're facing, and someone you can celebrate your victories with, even if it's over video chat.
That's so true. It's like having your own personal cheerleader in your back pocket.
And the best part is that when you do finally reunite, you'll both be bringing your best selves to the table. You'll have all these new experiences and insights to share, which can make your bond even stronger.
So it's not just about surviving the distance. It's about using that time apart to cultivate your own growth and then bringing those lessons back to the relationship.
Exactly. And you know what else thrives in a long distance relationship? Trust.
Oh, tell me more about that. Because trust seems like it would be harder to build when you're not physically together all the time.
It can be, but it can also be incredibly powerful. When you're long distance, you're forced to trust your partner on a deeper level. You're trusting them to be true to their word, to be respectful of your boundaries, and to stay committed to the relationship, even when faced with temptations.
It's like you're putting your faith in the foundation of your relationship even when you can't always see with your own eyes.
Exactly. And that kind of trust, the kind that's forged in the fires of distance, can be unshakable. It can create a sense of security and intimacy that transcends physical proximity.
So to recap, better communication, personal growth, deeper trust, those are some pretty awesome benefits that you might not expect from a long-distance relationship.
And let's not forget the joy of reunions, that feeling of finally being back in each other's arms after weeks or even months apart. It's pure magic.
Okay, that does sound pretty magical. It's like the anticipation builds and builds, and when you finally reunite, it's electric. So what's the biggest takeaway you want our listener to walk away with today?
Long-distance relationships come with their own set of challenges, but they also offer incredible opportunities for growth, both individually and as a couple. It's about shifting your perspective, not seeing distance as a barrier, but as a testament to the strength of your connection and a chance to build something truly extraordinary.
Love that. So if you're in a long distance relationship right now, hang in there. Focus on those silver linings and remember that a little distance can actually make the heart grow fonder and the relationship even stronger. And hey, even if you're not personally navigating a long distance romance, think about how you can apply those communication skills and that appreciation for quality time to all your relationships, friends, family, the works. It's all about connection, right? That's it for our deep dive today. Until next time, keep those connections strong no matter where you are in the world.